One of the most challenging aspects of being a musician in the 2020s is being able to quickly make bite-sized social content to post on your free marketing channels such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. The reality of the modern day is that we have to market ourselves as musicians on social media in order to build a successful network of people to get gigs and to be able to promote our own music, right? So to get people to subscribe to my channel like you're doing right now, love ya, thank you. You gotta be able to make content quickly, efficiently, and with hi-fi audio. To make a video with hi-fi audio on my phone, it always seems like there's a huge process to get to the end result that I want. I've only really come up with 3 feasible options on how to do it. The first one is to buy an external microphone for your iPhone or Android phone. The problem here is that if you really want it to sound good, it's probably gonna be kind of expensive. The audio quality probably won't improve that much, and you're still kind of at the mercy of whatever that singular microphone is capable of. In other words, you're basically praying that that microphone is going to suit all of your purposes. And I'll just go ahead and tell you, it won't. 2 is to record audio separately, and then upload it to your computer, and then sync up the audio, and then send it back to your phone, and then make the post. And that just takes too long. It's a huge time sink, and it requires you to have all of these different machines working at the same time in order to make it happen. It's just too much work, and it just takes too much time. The third is to try to adapt products like the iRig to my uses. But the problem with the iRig is that I bought 3 of these things and none of them have worked the way that I hoped that they would. Some of them just flat out don't work, and I have to buy external cables because the one that comes on it is terrible and doesn't work. And even with this new cable, I still haven't been able to get this unit to function properly, especially since you have to use the Amplitude app for it to work. I've never been able to get a video to record with audio from this. Half the time it doesn't even detect that I have a guitar plugged into it. As far as I'm concerned, these are dog shit. I also checked out the Roland Go mixer, which retails at about 150 bucks. It's from Roland, so you know it's a reputable company. It's really well reviewed, and I have friends who use it and swear by it. So that's a good option. But when I saw that JOYO had an option for $40 less, I was really excited to check that out and potentially recommend it to y'all. First, let's see what's in the box. I've actually already used this bad boy, so I had to repack it as close as I remember it being when I got it. All right, so we've got the JOYO MOMIX right here. This is the box that you will receive it in. And if we open this bad boy up, you'll see we've got our unit wrapped in plastic, real easy to get out. So if we take a look at the unit and set our box aside here for a moment, we can see that we have inputs on this side, outputs on this side. So let's look at our inputs here. We have an input right here that functions both as an XLR input and an instrument cable input, so that's really useful. We have a 48V switch right here if you need phantom power. Then we have a left mono and a right instrument input right here. So if you have a stereo instrument, you can get both of those bad boys connected on here. And then we have guitar/bass labeled right here for this guy. So I assume that's because they don't typically expect your guitar to be stereo, and your bass definitely won't be stereo. So that's why they labeled it that way. And also so they could differentiate on these knobs, I'm sure. Now, if we go over to our output side, we're gonna see recording, and that is this little 3.5mm bad boy right here. So that's really useful for if you need to get your recording out to another unit. So if you want your recording to go out to, say, your audio interface or to another broadcast unit of some sort, this will put it all out to it. Now here we have our center cancel. This is interesting. So we have a line in right here, and if we line in stereo inputs right here, then we can use this switch to cancel out all of the mono information in the center of the recording. So that would be really useful for a situation in which you were a karaoke DJ, or if you wanted to play with your song's tracks. So if you don't want to have to make a karaoke version of your songs, but you want to use tracks from your song, you could use this center cancel to get that lead vocal out of there and your lead guitar out of there for your solos and stuff, assuming that you mixed those in the center. Right here we have our monitor, so you can check on yourself, and if you flip this input monitor switch right here, you'll also hear what you're putting into the track and not just what track you have lined in over here. On the front of the unit we have our monitor knob, so you can listen in to whatever you've got input if you use your little input switch over here. We also have our instrument volume, our mic volume, and our guitar bass volume, which are all pretty self-explanatory. In the box, we've got more cables here. So it came with this USB-A to USB-C cable. So the USB-C side goes into the unit, and then you can use the USB-A if you want to go into your computer or some device that uses USB-A. In this little box, it came with both a USB-C, USB-C, so this is good for Android users here, USB-C to USB-C, and then we have our USB-C to Lightning, which is what I need for my iPhone. So cool, there's a lot of functions on here, but does it sound good? I'll let you be the judge. First, I'm gonna play a song with just the iPhone and its built-in mic. Then I'm gonna try using this guy with my current mic that I'm using right now for this voiceover, and we'll see which one sounds better. First, the iPhone mic. I want to be in control of my mind. Now let's see what happens if we plug it in. Here's with the Momix. I want to be in control of my mind. You can make the call for yourself, but to me, that A/B test alone was enough to justify the $110 price tag. The difference between the iPhone mic and the JOYO MOMIX using a professional quality microphone is staggering. So now I have a completely mobile rig because I can take the JOYO MOMIX and my phone with me literally anywhere. And if I just want to up the video game a little bit, I can use a nice camera and sync it in post. Hey, what's up? This is Future Joseph. I did attempt exactly the rig that I was just talking about, and actually with that shot, it turned out that the cellular interference or Wi-Fi interference between my phone and my camera became like a problem, and I was hearing all this brr, brr, brr in the audio, so it didn't work in this particular instance. I don't think that would normally be an issue for anyone else unless they were specifically recording using Wi-Fi for both their phone and the camera they were using. Even further though, I think that we can create huge pieces of content with just this unit and the phone. In fact, I feel so confident about how good this sounds, I'm going to try to multi-track a song with just 4 tracks in GarageBand on my iPhone using only free apps and the equipment that I already have laying around. So for this, my acoustic and my bass are direct in with, I had like a DI or a preamp kind of thing going as well, but you could literally just plug them directly into the Momix. And then the same large frame condenser microphone that I use for my other video shot, which is an AKG Perception. These are all single takes that I took real fast just to see if this was possible, and then I mixed it in the app and exported it directly. So there was no extra processing happening on my DAW or in my video editing software. You can take your time. Now that was a super quick recording just to demonstrate if it was possible to use this unit to multi-track and to not have to buy any extra software or anything. And I think that that is a wildly successful example of how high quality you can create a track for an extremely low budget and have video. Although in this case, I didn't use iPhone video to record myself tracking it. I just used the iPhone audio with the Momix. But you could, which is pretty cool. So what I'm trying to say here is the JOYO Momix is dynamic musician approved. I'm recording this section of the video a couple weeks after I got the unit. You can see that I'm in a different shirt in these shots than I was in the other shots. The reason I did that is, one, because I just needed some time to get my stuff together. Two, I got a new camera. And three, and most importantly, is that I wanted to make sure that I spent enough time with this unit that I really felt that I could truly recommend it to people, and it has far surpassed my expectations, and I do recommend it. This is my first gear review ever for the Dynamic Musician. I'm really interested in potentially pursuing more of these, so let me know if there's any particular pieces of gear you would like to have explored, and I will do my best to make it happen. Thanks for checking out the video, and I hope that this helped you find your forte. You can take your time.